I prefer Malaysia's food.
Singapore is just stressful.
Why do you think Malaysians and Singaporeans, don't get along sometimes?
It's the argument of like which food is better. I think Malaysia has better food than Singapore. Like shopping in Malaysia, prices in Malaysia are cheaper. That's why people say like there's this whole like fight of like Malaysia is better than Singapore. Yeah.
Would you prefer to live in Malaysia?
No, I feel Singapore is more well developed than Malaysia. So I feel I want to live in Singapore more than Malaysia. We're talking about like traditions wise. I think it's the argument that Singapore is like a gentrified version of Malaysia. So Malaysia has like has the origins of like the traditions and the customs which Singapore may have been like diluted along the way. So that's why I think there's like this argument of like we're not true to our traditions.
What do you think is the main difference between Singapore and Malaysia?
Exchange rate.
Exchange rate, okay. And what do you think is better in Malaysia and what is better in Singapore?
Well, the food is different varieties. The people are also more relaxed in Malaysia. In Singapore is just stressful.
I've noticed there is some rivalry between Singaporeans and Malaysians. Why do you think this is happening?
Every country is always competing with the other, especially neighbors. Love-hate relationships.
Which country do you prefer to live in?
No, Singapore, of course.
Why?
Well, I was born here.
Which country do you prefer, Singapore or Malaysia?
I think we are sisters country, so I think they are very, very similar. We each have our own benefits.
Cheaper food in Malaysia.
Cheaper food in Malaysia. Because I'm born in Singapore, so I think I'll live in Singapore. I'll still live in Singapore because all my friends and family are around here.
Singapore.
Yes, I am.
Not Malaysian.
On my social media, I feel like in the comment section, sometimes Malaysians and Singaporeans often like have a big argument about their country. Why do you think there's such a rivalry between the two countries?
It's been an ongoing debate about food, I think. Because Malaysia's food, I think, where it originates from, which one is better. I prefer Malaysia's food.
I think the food here in Singapore is not bad. Like, it's less oily. I think the quality is a bit better than Malaysia, but taste-wise, I prefer Malaysian food.
Yeah.
Where would you prefer to live, in Singapore or Malaysia?
I also prefer to live in Singapore. Also because growing up as a Singaporean, I'm already accustomed to the lifestyle here. It's a bit generally slightly safer also. Yeah, so that's what I prefer.
I like Malaysia mostly because I grew up there. My family's there. I'm with her on the safety part and the convenience of Singapore, like transport.
Have you been to Malaysia?
Yes.
Do you like Malaysia?
Yes.
Why do you think between Singaporeans and Malaysians are some kind of rivalry?
Malaysia cheaper. Their country big, more vacation places.
Would you prefer to live in Malaysia?
No,
Why not?
I'm Singaporean. My family is here.
Have you been to Malaysia?
Yes,
What do you think is the main difference between Singapore and Malaysia?
it's almost similar. Singapore is more clean and green. Malaysian and Singapore have a lot of tension
Yeah.
because maybe they're jealous. Singapore, the ones, and the progressive society.
So you think Malaysians are jealous of Singaporeans?
Yes, they feel a bit inferior because Singapore is a first world city at the moment.